Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is OP from Fab Trips. Yes, it's been a long time since I posted a video, and it's been kind of over a month now, thereabout. A lot has happened in the cruise industry, and I am not even going to go through all that. The videos I did prior to this, I did in the Gambia, and I had to travel to the US, which is where I am right now, just to deal with a few things. My son is starting college this year, so have to settle him in, and I came to be vaccinated. So I'm glad to say I'm fully vaccinated and ready to cruise and travel and all whatnot. Anyway, what I want to share with you today is five important things you need to do to have a stress-free and to have a wonderful cruise or any type of vacation really, but mostly cruise vacation. And some of these things are things that have helped me. The first one, without sounding self-serving, is get a cruise advisor, get a travel agent, a cruise agent, whatever it is you want to call them. Get them because they are going to be invaluable in your efforts to have a stress-free cruise. As you know, a lot of things are changing in the cruise industry. Cruise lines are coming up with new rules, new requirements daily, just because of the changing face of the pandemic. Just today, I'm sure most of you would have found out that Carnival has now changed the requirements for embarkation, for mask wearing, the mask requirements on board. It has changed. You now also have to get tested to get on the cruise. So as you can see, a lot of things are changing on a daily basis. So really get a cruise agent. If you don't know, if you try calling the cruise agencies, or cruise lines rather, if you try calling airlines, you probably spend hours on the phone trying to resolve an issue. But if you have a cruise agent, that's someone like me, I mean, that's what I do. And I'm not trying to advertise for myself, but it's something I would do for my client. It's something I've done for my clients, and it's something I continue to do for my clients. I spend the hours on the phone on their behalf to get their issues resolved. And most of these times, these issues have nothing to do with something my clients have done. It's just really has to do with changing requirements, trying to get the future cruise credits noted, so many different things. But right now, cruise lines, airlines, they went down in terms of their staff, their support staff. They reduced their support staff when the pandemic started, and they are not yet back to full strength. And it's going to take them a while to ramp up. So until then, you're going to be spending a lot of time on the phone trying to resolve issues. But a cruise agent like myself knows a lot more about these things. Sometimes you don't even have to get on the phone before you can resolve it if you have a cruise agent. Other things are, we're more knowledgeable. I've been to different webinars, seminars. I've been to so many. I've done a lot of, I've educated myself a lot on what various cruise lines do. So when you use a cruise agent, you're getting the benefit of a lot of experience, a lot of education. And, once I've done something with one or two clients, then by the time a third client comes with the same problem, I immediately know what to do. But I think the greatest benefit to having a cruise agent is that you don't have to spend endless hours rather, on the phone. And to me, that is absolutely worth it. There was a point I was on the phone for one of my cruises, and I was thinking to myself, wow, I need a cruise agent to be on the phone, but I'm my own cruise agent, so, well. Number two, while this may sound controversial, but this is it, get vaccinated. If you want to cruise anytime during this pandemic, and I'm talking in 2021 and probably 2022 too, at least the first half of 2022, get vaccinated. And, like I said, this is controversial, and I'm not trying to force anyone to get vaccinated, but the truth is, cruise lines are changing their requirements largely to favor the vaccinated. And they're doing this largely because that is the direction the science is pointing into. When you have about 99% of people who are hospitalized are unvaccinated, then cruise lines really have to think about this critically to see, okay, for the safety of our guests, safety of our crew, safety of everyone, let us just make it, even for the sanctity of the cruise itself, because you don't want a situation where there's someone on board who has COVID, who is sick, and then they have to cancel the entire cruise, or they go to a port and the port turns them away. So we have to think about all these things, or the cruise lines have to think about all these things when making these decisions. And my advice is, if you have no problem with it, get vaccinated. Do the research, understand what it is you're doing. If for any reason you cannot get vaccinated, or you're against getting vaccinated, then I'll advise that you hold off on cruising for now. That's just my advice. So if you can, get vaccinated, get fully vaccinated, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna. I'm vaccinated and I had zero side effects. My son got vaccinated, zero side effects. My youngest son is 13, got vaccinated, well, first dose, no side effects. So get vaccinated. I mean, it's the best you can do to protect yourself against the coronavirus. So number 3 is get travel insurance. Now, if you're unvaccinated, you're going to be forced by most cruise lines at this point to get travel insurance. But even if you're vaccinated, still get travel insurance because it gives you some sort of somewhat peace of mind when you're traveling. And make sure you get travel insurance that does not have any COVID-19 exclusions. In actual fact, if they can mention COVID-19, that would be great. But I think a lot of cruise lines they won't explicitly mention that it covers COVID-19 cases. I used Generali Global, and I'm not advertising for them. I don't work for them. I have nothing with them. But when I bought the insurance, it did not state anything about COVID-19, and also did not have any COVID-19 inclusions, which is good. I reached out to them, I called them, and they actually sent me a very nice letter, or to whom it may concern, which is to whoever cruise line it is, that there are no COVID-19 inclusions. They actually will cover COVID-19, and also lists a bunch of things that are covered. So, get travel insurance. At least for the next 1 or 2 years, I'd advise get travel insurance. As a rule of thumb, I'd say always get travel insurance. But during this period, I would say just get travel insurance. It's probably your best bet, and it'll probably do you a world of good. And if anything, it'll make you a little bit more stressless when planning your cruise. The third thing, is this fourth? Anyway, the next thing I would advise that you do is this. When you're traveling on your trip, right, it is important that you protect yourself. So what I do is anytime, in case you don't know, since the beginning of the pandemic, I've gone on, I think, 4 international trips, 4 international flights. And anytime before the flights, because I have to do a COVID test before I get on a plane, 2 weeks prior to the flight, or at least 2 weeks prior to the COVID test for the flight, I almost disengage from a lot of activities. I wear my mask everywhere I go. I don't go to non-essential meetings. I try and avoid contact with people as much as possible, because what I'm trying to do really is to limit my exposure to the coronavirus, really. And think about it, if you listen to people, or if you try, if you're going on a cruise, or if you're at the cruise port and they're doing the COVID test, there is a bit of anxiety there, because the last thing you want is to turn up positive. So to reduce the probability that you'll actually test positive, what I'll advise is at least 2 weeks before your trip, begin to try and isolate yourself, essentially, or rather, begin to try and quarantine yourself. reduce with interactions with people. Even if you can get 6 feet apart, wear a mask anytime you leave your house. Try to avoid having visitors, try to avoid visiting people. Just ramp down on your interaction with others as much as you possibly can to protect yourself so that you can get a negative test when you do it ahead of your cruise or ahead of your trip. And you'll also be doing you'll probably be testing at the port before you can get on the ship. So you really want to protect your cruise trip, and you need to make sure that you're well protected. And so all the things that you need to do, wear a mask, social distance, avoid any types of gathering as much as possible. Do everything you can do. Follow the CDC guidelines to the T, so that by the time you're ready to take the COVID test, you'll be all good to go. You can hear dogs barking, can't I? The next thing I'll advise that you do is check on your paperwork. And when I say paperwork, I mean correspondence from the cruise lines. Cruise lines are firing out different directives, different information on really almost on a daily basis, because they're trying to update all their guests and passengers. You have to fill out a lot of forms. There are a lot of things that you have to do to be able to get on a cruise these days. And it is important that you answer a lot of the questions that the cruise lines will send to you via email in a timely fashion. If you waste time, sometimes you will lose the window of opportunity. So check your email, go log into your cruise site, speak to your travel advisor. I mean, this is another area where travel advisors would actually help you, because they can walk you step by step through the process of embarkation, through the process of registering towards embarkation. But the most important thing is make sure that you're checking all your emails, make sure you're checking your correspondences, make sure you're checking your mail if you're expecting something in the mail, maybe your medallion or whatever. Just make sure you're checking everything almost daily. For a cruise, I check almost daily, just looking for correspondence, checking if the insurance requirements have changed, the vaccination requirements have changed, the masking requirements have changed, checking if things have changed. And once something changes, the cruise line will inform you immediately. And for things that they'll need immediate response from you it's always best that you respond immediately when you receive it. So check all your paperwork, make sure you have everything, check your passports, check your visas if you need visas, check everything you need. If you're going to the port, and you're not using a passport, make sure you have your driver's license and your birth certificate. Make sure you have all the documents necessary for you to actually leave and come back, because the worst thing you can the worst thing you want to happen to you is after 16 months or more of not cruising, and you finally have the opportunity, and then you're turned back because of paperwork that you omitted to do, or you forgot to do, or you missed completely. So check all these things. Hopefully this will be helpful. And if you found this 5 things, I believe there are 5, helpful, just hit the subscribe button, like, and hit the notification bell as well, just so that when new videos are out, you'll get them. But I think the most important thing, this is a bonus, is have an open mind and be patient. As you're approaching your trip, be open-minded about the experiences you will have, and be patient, because things change very, very quickly, as it is right now. But most importantly, stay safe. I hope this has been helpful to you. And I'll be releasing more videos, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and a thumbs up if you found this helpful. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything, really. It's just a button, nothing. You're not going to get any emails or anything. I hope not. No. So it doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out, but for the most part, I hope the content has been helpful to you. So stay safe, don't get sick, and I'll see you next time. Bye, and take care.